The fork clattered against the porcelain plate, echoing through the dining room like a gunshot in the dead of night. I froze. My mother's words slicing through the air sharper than any knife. "You're not even a shadow of what your sister could be." She said it with that casual cruelty, the kind wrapped in a smile, as if it were just another fact of life. Like gravity or taxes. My father didn't look up from his steak, chewing methodically, pretending the tension wasn't thickening like fog rolling in off the Puget Sound. And my sister, Elena. She just sat there with that faint, knowing smirk, her manicured fingers tracing the rim of her wine glass. Something inside me, buried deep under years of swallowed pride and unspoken hurts, finally cracked. I shoved my chair back, the screech of wood on hardwood cutting through the silence. "Then let her cover your mortgage from now on." The words hung there, heavy and irreversible, and I watched as confusion rippled across their faces like cracks in ice. My father finally lifted his head, his brow furrowing. "Mortgage? What on earth are you talking about, Sarah?" And in that moment, I realized they truly believed their web of lies was unbreakable. That I'd keep playing my role forever, the invisible daughter, the quiet fixer, the one who bled in silence while they shone under the spotlight. My name is Sarah Ellis. I'm 28, living in a modest one-bedroom in Tacoma, Washington, where the rain never seems to stop pattering against the windows like persistent regrets. I work as an accountant at a mid-sized shipping firm down by the docks, crunching numbers, balancing ledgers, making sure the chaos of commerce doesn't swallow the company whole. It's steady work, the kind that doesn't demand applause but keeps the lights on. Numbers have always been my refuge. They're honest, impartial, no room for favoritism or betrayal. 5 minus 3 is always 2, no matter how much someone wishes it were otherwise. Outside the office, my life is quiet, too quiet. Maybe. I brew coffee in the mornings, binge true crime podcasts on rainy evenings, and avoid mirrors that might reflect back the emptiness I've let build up. But every Sunday, like clockwork, I drive the hour north to my parents' house in Seattle for family lunch. "Blood is thicker than water," my mom would text if I was running late, her way of guilting me into showing up. "We count on you, Sarah." What she really meant was they counted on Elena first. Always Elena, the radiant one who lit up rooms like a 4th of July firework. Elena was the family's crown jewel, tall, poised, with that effortless charisma that made people lean in when she spoke. She breezed through college on scholarships, landed a marketing gig at a top tech firm in the city before her cap and gown even hit the floor. And now she was climbing the ladder, one viral campaign at a time. Me? I scraped by on student loans I paid off myself, juggling night shifts at a coffee shop and freelance gigs to avoid drowning in debt. I never complained, never asked for handouts, because early on I learned that seeking help meant stepping into Elena's shadow, and that shadow was long, cold, unforgiving. But I kept going to those Sunday lunches because family was supposed to be the anchor in the storm, right? The unbreakable bond. Or so I told myself, even as each visit chipped away at my soul, leaving me hollower than before. Those lunches followed a script as predictable as a sitcom rerun. Mom would serve her famous pot roast, the aroma filling the house like a false promise of warmth. Dad would nod along, asking rote questions about my week. "How's the job treating you?" Before the spotlight swung inevitably to Elena. "Did you hear? She's spearheading the new ad push for that startup, millions in funding riding on it." Mom would gush, her eyes sparkling like Elena had invented the internet herself. Dad would clap her on the back, beaming with that paternal pride reserved solely for her. "That's my girl, always a step ahead." And I'd sit there, forcing a smile, my fork idly pushing carrots around my plate, the ache in my chest growing like a bruise that never healed. My own wins, a promotion that came with a corner office. Or untangling a tax mess that saved the firm 6 figures, barely registered. They'd get a polite "good for you" before the conversation looped back to Elena's glow. But that Sunday, the one that unraveled everything, carried an undercurrent of unease from the moment I walked in. Mom kept glancing at me with this appraising stare, like she was measuring me for a coffin. Elena radiated that smug vibe. Her phone buzzing with notifications, she made sure everyone noticed. Even Dad seemed twitchy, fiddling with his napkin as if rehearsing lines in his head. I should have trusted my gut, turned around, and driven back to Tacoma. But habit is a cruel master. And I stayed. We sat down, plate steaming. And sure enough, the praise parade began. Elena's been a godsend with those home refinance papers, Dad said, raising his glass. Kept us afloat without breaking a sweat. Elena waved it off modestly, but her eyes gleamed. Just some quick advice, nothing major. My blood turned to ice. Refinance papers. Godsend. The words echoed in my skull as memories flooded back. 2 years of relentless payments. Each one a silent scream. It started innocently enough. Or so they framed it. A late-night call from Mom. Her voice trembling. "Sarah, the bank's threatening foreclosure. Just this month, can you spot us? We'll sort it next time." I wired the money that night, dipping into my savings. Then came the next month. And the next. "Don't tell Elena, she's got so much on her plate with her big job." Dad's texts piled up, one more time. "Kiddo, we appreciate it more than you know." So I paid. Every first of the month. $1,800 vanishing from my account like smoke. I skipped weekends away with friends. Drove a beat-up Honda with a rattling engine because upgrades weren't in the budget. Ate ramen for weeks to stretch my paycheck. I turned down a transfer to a better position in San Francisco, too far. They said, "We need you nearby." All while they hosted barbecues for Elena's promotions, bragging about her to the neighbors. I kept it secret, as they begged, because exposing their shame felt like betrayal. But now, here they were, crediting her for my blood and sweat. The betrayal burned, slow and searing, building pressure in my veins until I couldn't contain it. Mom caught the storm brewing in my eyes and shot me that warning glance, the one that always said, "Don't rock the boat. Sarah, know your place." Then she dropped the bomb. "You're not even a shadow of what your sister could be." The room spun. I expected the old me to crumple, to apologize for existing. But the dam broke. I stood, my voice steady as steel. "Then let her cover your mortgage from now on." Dad blinked, bewildered. "Mortgage?" "Sarah, what the payments I cut in." The truth spilling out like venom. 2 years. Every month. $1,800. I have the transfers, the emails, the pleas. "Just this once. Don't tell Elena." Elena's face drained of color. "What?" I had no idea. Mom jumped in, her tone defensive. "We were going to repay you. It was temporary." Temporary? I laughed, bitter and hollow. 2 years is a lifetime of choices, Mom. Choices to let me bleed dry while you parade Elena as the savior. Dad stammered, "This isn't the time." "Sarah, we're family." Family? The word tasted like ash. Family doesn't erase the one who actually saves them. I grabbed my keys and stormed out, the Seattle drizzle soaking me as I reached my car. My hands shook on the wheel. But not from fear, from the raw thrill of finally unleashing the truth. That night, back in Tacoma, I logged into my bank app and stared at the autopay setup. $43,200 gone over 24 months, poof, into their pockets. Unacknowledged. I hit cancel. The confirmation popped up, "Are you sure?" Hell yes. For the first time in years, my account stayed whole. and the silence from them was louder than any scream. No frantic calls. No remorseful texts. Just nothing. I waited, the old guilt gnawing at me like a familiar ghost. But by day 5, it faded. I started jogging along the waterfront at dawn, each footfall pounding out the resentment. I signed up for a photography class at the local Y, capturing sunsets over the Sound with people who saw me, not through me. I accepted invites to happy hours with colleagues, laughing over beers without the weight of obligation dragging me down. Then, 10 days later, a message from Aunt Clara, my mom's sister who'd always been the family's quiet observer. Saw the banner on your folks' house. Thanks, Elena, for saving our home. Thought you should know. Attached was a photo, their cozy craftsman with a garish sign flapping in the wind. Elena's name in bold letters. My vision tunneled. All those sacrifices, foregone dreams. Lonely nights. The constant ache of invisibility rewritten as her triumph. Rage simmered. Not hot and wild, but cold. Calculated. I didn't shatter. I planned. I dug out the folder from my closet, every bank statement. Wire confirmation. Desperate text from Mom, Sarah. Please. The notice came again. I scanned it all. Organized into a digital dossier. Undeniable as a court exhibit. A week after that, my cousin Jake called. His voice hushed. Hey, heads up, your parents are throwing a family gratitude bash in a month. Big venue in downtown Seattle. They want me to DJ and run a video tribute to Elena, calling her the pillar who held us up. My gut twisted. Pillar. The word mocked me. Send me the video file, I said. My tone flat. He paused. You okay? This seems messy. Just send it. When it arrived, I opened it and felt bow rise. Montage after montage, Elena posing by the front door, arms around Mom and Dad. Captions like, our rock in the storm, and Elena, the heart of our home. I duplicated the file, then wove in the truth. After their glossy finale, a group hug with Elena center stage, I added slides, timelines of payments, pie charts breaking down the $43,200, redacted texts pleading for one more month. The closing slide, a stark photo of the house, overlaid with truth doesn't hide forever. With that locked and loaded, I did what I delayed for too long, applied for jobs in Portland, Oregon, 3 hours south, far enough to escape the gravitational pull of their expectations. I landed an offer quickly. Better pay. A fresh start. I packed my life into boxes, signed a lease on a loft with exposed brick and a view of the Willamette River. It felt like shedding skin, painful, but liberating. New rugs. A velvet armchair. Shelves groaning with books I'd bought but never read. This space was mine. Earned without strings. Without erasure. The invitation came via email. Curt and cold, gratitude dinner. Saturday, 6 p.m. Elliott Bay Ballroom. Black tie optional. No olive branch. No hint of regret. I RSVP'd yes. Not for reconciliation, but for closure. The night arrived, and I chose armor, a sleek red dress that hugged my frame, heels that clicked with authority. The ballroom buzzed with relatives, uncles nursing drinks, cousins chattering under crystal chandeliers. Through the doors, I watched Dad take the podium, mic in hand. Tonight, we celebrate Elena, the one who guided us through the darkness, who secured our legacy. Cheers erupted. The video rolled, Elena's curated heroism unfolding on the massive screen. I slipped my phone out. Connected to the AV system, I'd sweet-talked the tech into granting me access for a surprise family add-on. One tap, and the feed hijacked. Their fairy tale vanished, replaced by my evidence, graphs, dates, dollar signs. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Dad's face ashen. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. Elena stammered. What is this? I stepped into the spotlight. The room's eyes pinning me like spotlights. If lies built this evening, I said. Voice unwavering. Then truth will tear it down. Murmurs swelled. For 2 years. I paid that mortgage. $1,800 monthly. $43,200 total. While you credited her. And Uncle muttered. Jesus. Sarah. Elena protested. I didn't know. They said you didn't care to know, I replied. The hurt sharpening my words. Easier to bask in unearned glory. Mom pleaded. Sarah. Not here. Please. Why not? You invited everyone to your fiction. Now they get the facts. Whispers turned to arguments. The facade crumbling. Dad reached for me. Let's talk privately. But I turned away. I'm done whispering truths you ignore. I walked out. The city lights blurring through tears, not of sorrow, but release. The price of my silence had been myself, the cost of speaking, their illusion. 3 days later. A knock echoed in my new loft. Peering out. I saw them, Mom and Dad. Diminished in the hallway light. I let them in. The air thick with unspoken wreckage. Mom's voice cracked. We're sorry. Sarah. We messed up. Dad nodded. Eyes downcast. We leaned on you too hard. Hit it to save face. It was wrong. Their words hung. Fragile. Repayment? We can keep it, I said. I don't want debts tying us. I want acknowledgement. Visibility. Silence stretched. We'll try, Mom whispered. Genuine tears this time. If you'll give us a chance. I didn't promise forgiveness. That scar ran deep. But I nodded. On my terms. No more shadows. As they left, I stood by the window. The river flowing below like time itself. I'd paid dearly for my silence. But the truth's price was freedom. In the end. Betrayal doesn't just wound, it reshapes you. If you let it. And I had.